Green Beetz, the history of food. In this lesson, we're really investigating how food has evolved since human beings have been on this planet. Which the main point to really get across to your students is that we were trekking along for thousands of years without a lot of change. Fire was introduced. We were generally very primitive, lived in small, some often mobile communities, mostly hunter-gatherers. And then finally, in about 9000 BC, the agricultural revolution happened. So we stopped moving around so much, started being a little more stationary, and needed to start growing our own food. But still, that was mimicking the natural cycle. And then in about the last 100 years, or even less, we've had a big change where we've had machines entering in, so tractors and trailers, a lot of motorized uses coming into farming, chemicals introduced, pesticides and fertilizers with the chemical revolution. So all of these changes of our food cycle have really happened in the last 50 to 100 years, which is the main point of this lesson to really drive through to your students. Day one of the history of food has, again, introduction of what you're about to teach your students, a nice overview of a video, a big classroom discussion really based on that video and these teaching points about how food has changed in such a tiny blip of time, and then a wrap up to get ready for day two of the history of food. Now, day two has you as a classroom with your students, or you can break them up into groups. Again, it's flexible of how you think it works best in your classroom, but we want your students to make a timeline based on the discussion in the video. So this timeline really starts with man, caveman, prehistoric, fire, and travels through current day. So the point of the timeline is for them to really visually see in the last 50 to 60 years, there's been a lot of changes in terms of our food system. Chemicals introduced, machinery introduced, processing introduced, consolidation onto factory farms and fast food and marketing and food companies. The whole point is for you to really show that this has really changed and only happened since about the 1920s to 50s is when this really started happening. So again, short-term change that has affected our entire food system, and that's the food system that we're in today. So we really just want to get them to appreciate how our food has slowly developed over time and understand the history of food. We finished the timeline, snacks and facts, so the students get to take part of some classroom tasting together and enjoy some whole foods. And then again, they do the test your noodle to prepare them and for them to gain some Green Beetz bucks for that farewell lesson, and then a quick wrap up to get ready for the next Green Beetz lesson.